What if I told you the secret to a bountiful fall harvest isn't planting more, but actually removing plants from your garden? It sounds backwards, but by the end of this video, you'll see real results from gardens where fewer plants lead to bigger, healthier crops. Today, I'll show you how cutting back can unlock root development and reduce the risk of disease in your fall crops. Thinning isn't just about making space, it's about giving each plant the chance to soak up nutrients, light and water without competition. Let's take a closer look at why this simple step can make such a dramatic difference. In crowded garden beds, plants aren't just growing close together, they're locked in a constant struggle for resources. Research on intra-specific competition in crops like maize shows that when plant density is reduced, each plant gets more access to water, nutrients, and sunlight. This means stronger, healthier growth and better harvests. Thinning is the practice of removing some seedlings so the remaining ones have enough space to thrive. It can feel counterintuitive to pull out perfectly healthy sprouts, but it's a vital step. For root crops such as carrots, for example, leaving about 2 inches between each plant, based on standard horticultural guidelines, prevents roots from becoming stunted or misshapen. Without enough space, these crops can't develop properly underground. Spacing isn't just important for roots. When plants have more room, research from UMN Extension shows that the risk of mold and disease drops, especially during cool, humid fall weather. Leafy greens like spinach benefit from this, growing thicker and more tender with better light and airflow. Thinning is really about giving your best seedlings a better shot at success. You're not wasting plants, you're making sure the ones you keep can reach their full potential. Of course, knowing why thinning matters is just the start. The real trick is figuring out the right moment to do it. For fall crops, timing your thinning makes all the difference. Instead of relying on the calendar, watch your seedlings for clear signs they're ready. The key marker is the appearance of the first set of true leaves. True leaves look like miniature versions of the mature plant's leaves. Unlike the initial seed leaves or cotyledons, which are usually rounder and simpler. Waiting for these true leaves ensures your seedlings are strong enough to handle thinning without too much stress. For leafy crops like spinach and lettuce, thinning at the true leaf stage gives each plant space to expand both above and below the soil. This prevents crowding and lets roots develop properly. Root crops like radishes are a bit different. Research shows radishes recover quickly from disturbance because they grow fast, so you can thin them as soon as the seedlings reach 1 to 2 inches tall. When you do, leave about 1 to 2 inches between each plant to help them form well-shaped roots. Aim to thin your fall crops when they have 1 to 2 sets of true leaves. At this stage, plants are young enough to adjust and mature enough to benefit from the extra space. Different crops have different spacing needs, and knowing these details is the next step to making your thinning count. Let's get into the specific thinning needs for some of the most popular fall crops. Radishes do best with 1 to 2 inches of space between each plant after thinning. If you see clusters where seedlings are only a fingertip apart, remove extras until you have that 1 to 2 inch gap. This helps radishes form round, even roots and prevents crowding that leads to small or misshapen harvests. Lettuce and spinach both benefit from about 3 to 4 inches of space between plants. If your seedlings are packed too tightly, these leafy greens will stretch upward, becoming leggy and loose instead of forming dense, tender heads. When you notice leaves overlapping or plants shading each other, thin until you see a clear 3 to 4 inch gap. Carrots need about 2 inches between each plant to grow straight, uniform roots. Experts recommend snipping carrot seedlings at soil level rather than pulling them. This method protects the roots of the plants you're keeping, tying back to research that shows minimal root disturbance leads to better yields. Brussels sprouts require the most space, at least 18 inches between plants. Their large leaves need plenty of room for air and light, which supports healthy sprout development along the stalk. Proper spacing not only prevents competition, but also boosts chlorophyll assimilation, helping your plants convert more sunlight into energy. With these guidelines, you'll be ready to thin with confidence. Seeing the process firsthand can make it even clearer, so let's move on to a hands-on demonstration of thinning in action. Let's get practical and walk through exactly how to thin your seedlings. Start by picturing the spacing your crop needs. For carrots, you want about 2 inches between each plant. Use your finger or a small ruler as a simple guide to help you visualize the right distance. This makes it easier to see which seedlings to keep and which ones need to go. When deciding which seedlings to keep, look for those with the thickest stems and the fullest set of true leaves. These are the healthiest and most likely to thrive. For leafy crops like lettuce or spinach, step back and check how the plants are grouped. Aim for even spacing so each seedling gets enough light and airflow. It's time to thin. Use small, clean scissors to snip unwanted seedlings at the base. Remember to disinfect your scissors between cuts to reduce the risk of spreading disease from plant to plant. For root crops like carrots, always cut rather than pull to avoid disturbing the roots of neighboring plants. With leafy vegetables, you can gently lift out seedlings by their cotyledons, the first tiny leaves, being careful not to squeeze the stems. After thinning, you'll notice more open space and healthier-looking plants. Now you're left with a handful of tiny seedlings. It might seem wasteful to toss them, but there are actually plenty of useful ways to put these young plants to good use. When you thin your seedlings, there are several practical ways to make sure they don't go to waste. Many thinned plants, especially spinach, lettuce, and kale, are edible at this stage. Try adding baby kale shoots to your fall salad for a peppery crunch, or toss spinach and lettuce thinnings into a smoothie. Their tender leaves work well as a garnish or can be quickly sautéed for a light stir-fry, giving you a microgreen-style harvest right from your thinning process. If you'd rather not eat them, consider replanting the healthiest seedlings. You can use extras to fill gaps in your garden or pot them up for someone else. To give these transplants the best chance, handle them gently by the cotyledons and avoid squeezing the stems. Once replanted, water them right away, and provide shade for 24 hours to help reduce transplant shock, as recommended by UMN Extension. This extra step helps the seedlings recover and settle into their new spot. For seedlings you don't eat or replant, composting is a smart choice. Mix the green thinnings with about twice as much brown material, like dry leaves or straw. This keeps your compost balanced and helps it break down into rich soil for future crops. No matter which option you choose, making the most of thinned seedlings helps your garden and reduces waste. But even with the best intentions, there are a few common pitfalls that can undermine your thinning efforts. Mistakes during thinning can easily set back your garden, so let's look at the most common ones and how to avoid them. Waiting too long to thin is a big one. If you let seedlings compete for too long, their growth can be stunted even after you thin. To stay on track, set a calendar reminder for 2 weeks after sowing. That's a great time to check your seedlings and decide if they're ready for thinning. Another issue is damaging nearby plants when you thin. Pulling seedlings by hand can disturb the roots of the ones you want to keep, especially with root crops like carrots. Instead, use sharp, clean scissors to snip unwanted seedlings at the base. To avoid spreading disease, wipe your scissors with a cloth dipped in rubbing alcohol every 10 cuts. Accuracy is important too. After thinning, take a moment to remeasure the spaces between your plants. This step helps you catch any spots that are still too crowded or accidentally over-thinned, and it reinforces the right spacing for healthy growth. Finally, avoid thinning all at once. A staggered approach, thinning a little, observing how your plants respond, and then making final adjustments, gives seedlings time to recover and helps you maintain the ideal density. With these tips in mind, it's helpful to have a clear summary you can refer back to when you're out in the garden. Here's a clear, straightforward recap you can keep in mind when you're thinning your fall crops. For timing, wait until your seedlings have 1 to 2 sets of true leaves before you start. This usually happens around 2 weeks after germination, but keep an eye on your plants because some, like radishes, may be ready to thin a bit sooner, when they are about 1 inch tall. For spacing, remember these simple guidelines. Radishes, 1 to 2 inches apart. Carrots, 2 inches apart. Lettuce and spinach, 3 to 4 inches apart. Brussels sprouts, 18 inches apart. These numbers help each crop grow to its full size without crowding. Visualize the space as you work, using your finger or a ruler to check the gaps. When thinning, use clean scissors to snip seedlings at the base, especially for root crops, or gently pull by the cotyledons for leafy greens. Always choose the healthiest seedlings with the thickest stems and fullest true leaves. After thinning, lightly water the area to settle the soil and reduce shock for the remaining plants. Thinned seedlings don't have to go to waste. Add them to salads, replant the strongest, or compost with plenty of brown material. With these tips, you're set up to make thinning a regular and effective part of your gardening routine. Thinning isn't about taking away, it's about giving your best plants the space they need to reach their full potential. Picture pulling up carrots twice as big as last year's, or harvesting leafy greens that fill your salad bowl in one cut. This simple step can make a visible difference in both the size and quality of your fall harvest. Start by applying these techniques to one crop and see what happens. Tell us in the comments which crop you'll thin first. We'd love to hear about your plans. Give thinning a try this weekend and share your results.